1 month from now, what are the goals that you want to adopt today? Now, you don't have to get all of these goals. Most likely, you won't. But if you get some of them, then you're on your road. You're on your way to achieving success in your life, attaining your goals, which is really one of the best feelings ever. One of my goals when I was first doing these YouTube videos was to try to affect people in a positive way. Because so many positive things have happened to me, I want to be able to affect people in a positive way, hopefully change their lives for the better just a little bit. I would be happy. And, thank goodness for this, that I, start doing these YouTube videos, because you guys have just been flooding me with all these great positive emails about how listening to my experiences and listening to my pitfalls and my successes have helped you to change your life. There's hundreds of you out there. And the ones that have been really taking it seriously have really, I couldn't be prouder of you guys, have really been transforming your lives. Now, I've been away for a while, not doing the video podcast. I plan on changing that. But during that time, it's just because there's just so many amazing, great things happening with the studio, with work, with freelance, with teaching, whatever it is, schoolism. There's just really no time. And if you're one of those people that emailed me and I couldn't get back to you, it wasn't because I didn't want to, okay? It's just because there's just too many things that needed my attention, and I was just unable to get back to you. So if that happened to you, know that I read it and I appreciate it tremendously, because it's really, this whole YouTube thing has become a blessing in itself, and there's no better feeling. I haven't really come across any kind of feeling that's better than a feeling where you feel like you have helped somebody change their lives in a positive way. And that's what you guys have given to me. That's what you have given to me by listening to the podcast and emailing me your great feedback on it. It keeps me going. Same thing with the sketch groups. Taking people, meeting them in the subways of Toronto, and we're all going sketching together and everything, and seeing their lives change for the better, seeing them appreciate art and becoming bigger and better at it. It's the best feeling in the world when they tell me that I had a little something to do with it. It's been such a rewarding experience. Life has become such a rewarding experience. It's like the more I try to give back, the more that you have given back to me. So I'd just like to say, big, huge thank you to you for listening, for hearing, and for accepting and, listening to what I have to say with an open mind. Remember, it's never too late to start learning art. It's never too early to take art seriously. Limitations are not real. They are things that we make up, that we give ourselves. But they aren't physically real. These are just things in our heads. And if your limitations are lower than somebody else's, then if you guys both reached your potential, you know, your potential just might be cut short because of your limitations. So expand your mind. Expand your mind, especially, if you're one of those people that want to be the top at your studio or the top at your school or, even less the top of your class, the top of your year, so on and so forth. We got to break these limitations. Break these limitations and think to ourselves that there are no limitations really. A little story about this are the life drawing students that I have at Sheridan College. I'm teaching third year over there, and it's been such an amazing experience. It's been a little bit of a different experience. My digital painting class, everybody wants to take my course. Everybody is completely into it. Life drawing, for the animation program, this is a lot more different, because the students are required to take life drawing. It's part of their schedule, whether they like it or not. Most of them, they really like it. I could just about say a good majority of them have really learned to like it, I find. Whether it's frustrating or not, either way, they like it in the end. Because now everybody's improving. Everybody's improving, so they all are starting to believe that they can draw, that they are able to draw well. I see a lot of potential superstars in that year. I always believe very highly in people and how much they can achieve, so it's not that hard for me. But I know that a lot of them definitely do have the potential to be phenomenal, famous, successful, whatever they want. They just got to believe themselves. So I did this thing to them. I did this little thing. It stirred up a little, a little conversation or whatever it is you like to call it. But this is what I did. In school, you walk through the halls of Sheridan College, and in the animation wing, there are all sorts of drawings, paintings, whatever it is, up there on those walls. And they're all labeled third year storyboarding, third year life drawing, second year life drawing, and so on and so forth. So I have, I'm the third year teacher, so I have 3 boards that I'm in charge of that I can put up drawings. In the beginning of the year, the very first portfolio I received from them, it was hard to me to even find some drawings that I wanted to put up. There weren't very many. There were some, of course, there were some, but there weren't that many yet. So instead, to help fill up the board a little bit, I asked one of my friends that is in first year. In first year, I'm teaching third year. This person is in first year. And I asked this person for one of her drawings so that I could put it up beside the third years on the third year wall. Now, a lot of people didn't really understand this. But what I wanted to show them was that when people walk down the hall and they see this first year's drawing beside all the other third year drawings, and they don't know, that she's in first year because the sign just says third year, they accept it. They accept her as being in, that third year level because her drawing, skill wise, it's definitely up there, if not, even better. honestly. Why? Because this girl, she doesn't put any limitations on herself. How I know her is that she came drawing with us on the subways since she was 16 years old. That's why I'm saying it's never too early to start drawing. It's never too early to start taking it seriously, and she definitely started taking it seriously from a very early age. So of course, when she goes into Sheridan, she's gonna be just, really cleaning up with the life drawings. So I put that drawing up there to remind them that they shouldn't limit themselves as well. Because a lot of times when we're in school, the misconception that the students have generally is that, you know, I'm in second year right now, so that means I have to be drawing better than the first years and not better than third years, right? Because I'm only in second year. Now that is dangerous, because now you can only be as good or less less good than the people that are in the year above you. Categories can be dangerous sometimes, for our growing process. Just because you're in third year doesn't mean that you can't be better than the fourth years or even drawing at a professional level. A lot of people, they didn't understand this. They thought, why the heck is Bobby Chiu putting up a first year's drawing? But they took the time to watch people's reactions. The people that didn't know who's in third year, who's in first year, so on and so forth. Because I specifically told her that she shouldn't have her name on the drawing. So I put up a drawing with no name on it. It turned out that the people that didn't know that this person was in first year, a lot of them would point at her drawing and say, "That's my favorite out of this whole wall." After I told them this though, and started really just trying to get into their heads that anything is possible, and I want them to start drawing, raise the bar, don't compare yourselves to each other, and if anything, you compare yourselves to the fourth years or to industry professionals that you love and you try to get as good as them. That is their goal. All of a sudden, their skill level starts to increase very rapidly. Also because I gave them pretty bad marks during their first portfolio just to set a standard. But it's like once you lift that bar up and you show them, you help them to get there, then all of a sudden everybody starts to improve dramatically. It's amazing. It's the best feeling in the world because come the second portfolio, there are just so many drawings that I didn't even find enough space to put on the wall. It's really great. It's been such a great experience. One of my one of the best days that I had teaching was this is during a whole week where I would ask every class, I would ask them at one point or another, does anybody not feel like improved yet? And at the very most, only one person out of every class would put up their hand, which was a great thing. The other great thing about this was that everybody around saw that hardly anybody was putting up their hands. So that means that they are all improving. It brings a sort of unity to the year, I feel, and they are just doing amazing. I couldn't be happier. I can't I I'm so excited for teaching them this next upcoming semester. I can't wait to see what they're going to be able to do. So look out for them. They're going to be good. They're going to be hot. We also have a life drawing blog where the students are, allowed to put up their work on the blog and everything. So, if you have the time, you can check that out. There's should be a link off of my website, Imaginism Studios, on the blog there. But I couldn't be prouder of these guys. The other thing that concerns me now is that by the end of the semester, all of their grades went up. Some of them went up tremendously, from a failing grade to actually a B plus or an A is amazing. Some of them, went from 50s to straight 80s in a matter of weeks, which has been mind-blowing. But the thing that concerns me now is now that they received good grades, what are they going to do? Because there's two main things that are always going to drive us to improve. One is positive and one is negative. The negative one for a lot of these people are over. It's over. It's those bad grades that I gave them in the very beginning. They didn't want the bad grades, which is the negative, and they were trying to run away from the bad grades towards the good grades. The good grades are the positive. So now that they've achieved their positive and gotten away from their negative, now what are they going to do? How are they going to keep going? Well, that part's really simple. You raise your goals now. Instead of getting positive grades, now you want even better grades, or you want to just raise your skill level even higher. All sorts of things happen to everybody that in a lot of ways are the same. Good things will happen to us and bad things will happen to us. But the thing that defines us as people is what we decide to do with ourselves after these things happen. For example, Gandhi, on his way to doing what he does or what he did, the life-changing moment was when he got kicked off a bus for not being white. A negative thing, a huge negative thing, and he could have went back home in shame. Or he could have tried to change it all, which is exactly what he tried to do, what he did. Martha Stewart, I believe her dad was an alcoholic or something like that. This isn't fact or anything, but I'm pretty sure that's how it went. She took that and decided to make her life about making lives, families better. How to organize the kitchen, how to do these decorations and all this stuff to make a great family environment. It could have went that way, or it could have went she becomes an alcoholic herself and, stumbles down that road. So really, good things, bad things, they happen to everybody. But the deciding factor is how are you going to react to it. So I'm hoping that all of my students in third year, and you as well, whoever is listening, when you achieve your goals, you're going to raise that bar and achieve more goals. You get even more hungry for it. Because now you're seeing the improvement. Now you're starting to see your life, it's starting to roll towards a positive towards a positive situation. You can't stop now. Once you have momentum going, you got to go with it. One of my goals since the very beginning was to create a studio, create my own company so I could do my own stuff. And I wouldn't have to work for somebody. I wouldn't have to really depend on a company giving me a paycheck every week, which is fine for a lot of people. But these were my goals specifically. Okay, and be able to sustain a living doing freelance, collecting jobs and doing the jobs and stuff like that. And it's been great. And now I've achieved that goal. So now it's time to raise that goal a bit higher. Another one of my goals is to create the best art school, art environment there ever was. And that's schoolism. That's schoolism.com. And that was something that my studio created last year and launched last year. And since then, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And this year, we're bringing on so many amazing teachers, it would just blow your face off. In January 2008, this year, a new teacher starts his brand new course, Jason Seiler. Amazing illustrator, character artist. It's the best. Mind blowing. Also this year, we signed on Marcela Vignali, which is one of my favorite artists. His drawing ability is just insane. If you haven't heard of him, he art directed for Sony Imageworks. He's nominated for an Annie Award, which is like the Oscars for the animation industry. Top of his game, and he's going to be teaching drawing fundamentals. So what better way to learn how to draw than you learn from a master, and starting from the very beginning with a master of drawing. Then there's others. Chris Perns, he's coming on board for storyboarding. He's also nominated for Annie Award. Amazing storyteller. And he's actually the head of story for one of Sony's next films that are going to be coming out 2009. So these guys are all top of the game. These are all people where if you didn't live in North America, it would cost you tens of thousands of dollars to move down here and take schooling where you'd have to pay rent, you'd have to pay international costs and all this stuff. And you wouldn't have these quality of teachers. These teachers are industry's best. And that was my goal. And now I'm starting to achieve that as well. I couldn't be happier. I can't wait. I can't wait to watch their courses as well because I'm very interested in seeing how they learn. It's very important to constantly keep your mind open to new ideas, new methods, to new ways of thinking. I'm constantly searching for those types of things. So that was another goal, to make the best environment for learning art ever. Those are pretty big goals. As you progress in your life and you start to achieve the smaller goals, the idea is to every time you achieve a goal, you make a new goal for yourself, bigger and better, and you try to achieve that one and this one, that one. The very beginning, I wouldn't even think of trying to achieve this idea of making an art school or art classes where you are learning from the industry's best. I worked my way up to it. And that's not to say that they're the very, very best of everything, because I don't want to get into that. But I think we can say without a doubt that they are definitely very good at what they do and are professionals. These are the ideal people to learn from. Anyhow, now that that's going on, the new goal for myself this year, one thing that I really want to change was the fact that, I really felt bad that, I've been staying away from the YouTube thing, the YouTube videos for a while. And, the emails, they keep coming. They keep coming. But it's just because I had so many deadlines with all these different freelance things and all these other things going on. It was hard to find any time for myself or to find any time even commenting back. And I always wondered about this kind of stuff. I always wondered about this kind of stuff when, when I was a kid, I wasn't getting, fan mail or anything like that. And at that point, like I believe I wrote a couple letters to a couple of famous artists that I really admired. And sometimes I got a response, sometimes I didn't. And the times that I didn't, I always thought to myself, man, if I was ever getting fan mail, I would for sure write back to everybody. I don't care. You know, I would write back to everybody. I don't see why these people wouldn't write back. Well, I don't know about everybody, but this is my reasoning. Okay, and what happened to me. Okay, as these years have gone on, I try to get back to everybody's emails, definitely. I actually put aside all of Monday to do as much as I can getting back to everybody's emails. So, what happens is you're doing work, okay? You have to read your emails because they're all work related, and then you get an email in there where you're not sure if it's work related or not, okay? And you click on it, and then you find out that it's fan mail and it's pretty big, it's pretty long, and it's going to take some time to fully write back to this person and not just do a half-assed thank you very much for, whatever, but really take the time to explain to them and answer their questions. Right now you don't have time for it because you're working, so you try to set it aside and try to think about it and remember it for later on. But because you clicked on that email, this is what happens to me. Because I click on that email, it's not highlighted anymore. It isn't highlighted like I should read this email. I haven't read the email. It just becomes one of the like the other emails. It's not highlighted. It gets lost in the crowd and it dribbles down and then onto the second page and then you can't see it anymore. And really that's what happens. Because in a day I would get 50 or 100 emails or even more. And by the end of the day, the emails in the beginning have now dribbled on to the second page or whatever. And it gets confusing. It gets very hard to find the emails that you were meant to get back to a person, and things like that, because you might not be able to return their emails until weeks from now because everything just keeps building up. And once I respond to somebody's email, then right away, a lot of times you'll respond right back, and plus the new emails are coming in as well. So it's this whole huge, huge cycle. It's not any excuses, but I found that, this was something that I always wondered about. And so, here's my opportunity to tell you what happens and why some people, because now now that I'm going through it, I'm a lot more understanding to other people not getting back to me or whatever. Um, if I wrote them an email, because things get hectic. Things get very hectic. The more people know you, the more there is going to be a demand for you, to get something from you. So, there's only a certain amount of time that you can actually get back to them. Anyways, that's the whole thing. But I definitely appreciate all the emails that you've been sending me, and every day it just warms my heart. It's been great. It's been a blessing, and I feel truly blessed and in a great position in my life. Very satisfied, but not completely satisfied. So this year, what I am planning on doing is to take a year off of freelance to do more of these video podcasts, to, just do a lot more of my own art, to explore uh, my own art, and just, get back to some independent art. That's what I'm really interested in. And now that everything else is going good and it's, things are really rolling, now I'm able to do that because that's one of my, that's one of my little secret goals for myself is to be a successful independent artist as well, not just freelancer. But when you're painting stuff for yourself, you're painting the things that you want to paint, and then after you paint them, then your fans and your, people will buy the stuff, and then you can continue making your own art. That's my that's my goal for this year. I'm going to try it out. And that's my New Year's resolution to myself. So look out. Look out for some great stuff happening on my site, Imaginism Studios, on schoolism.com. There's going to be some really great, amazing teachers coming out all of this year. You're going to hear it. You're going to see it. It's going to be fantastic. And I wish you the best of luck with this year. May your whole year be full of successes, and any bumps in the road are just along the way to even bigger and better things. I better start finishing up this painting right now. It's taking a while. Um, just so many things to say. It's just so many things to say, and I've been dying to say them for so many months now. I'm really glad I took this opportunity and just pushed the freelance aside for a little bit. And I can't wait to do a whole year of painting and drawing my own stuff. I can't wait. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the podcast and expect to hear from me again. Take care, and if you'd like to see any more of my work, please feel free to visit my site, imaginismstudios.com, or if you'd like to take painting classes with me, there's always schoolism.com as well. So thank you very much, and have a great, beautiful day. Take care.